What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Don Illuminati, back with another video. So in this video, I want to talk to y'all about setting up and buying a house, right? With your personal income tax. You don't have a job, you ain't got a business, you ain't got nothing, all right? I want y'all to help you with some information. I ain't only here to yell at y'all and this, that, and the third, right? Now, maybe I can prove it a little bit. Maybe you might need a little bit of money. Maybe you don't. I can explain certain processes or whatever. But I think I'm getting ready to try something. The Most High said, he who hangs on to his life will lose it. He who gives up his life will find it, right? And a lot of us have been put in a certain situations to us like, oh, we can't hang on no more. We can't do this, that, and the third. Well, you can completely reset yourself right now, right? I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, all right? This is what we're going to do. So we got something to utilize here. We're going to take this crib, right? So I'm not done with it or whatever. I still got to, do some cleaning up or whatever. So we got three bedroom crib, right? What is it? 2.5 bathrooms or something like that. Beautiful view, right? It's a beautiful view. Okay. I don't know if you can see out there or whatever, but we're going to take a little stroll in the house. I'm going to show you what I'm doing or whatever. All right. Let's get some light up in here. All right, bet. So I'm working on this bathroom right here. I'm going to work on this bathroom, whatever, because I still got this wall. This is like the only wall I actually got to do in this whole crib, whatever. And then this is the podcast room that we did or whatever. The screens and all that stuff still up there or whatever. I had removed some of the stuff that was in here. But this is all going to be set up. Look, listen, even if I'm about to roll out, even if this is the case, right? Because you just got to have a plan. You got the laundry room right here. You feel me? And you know what I'm saying? Got the laundry room in here. And then we got another room. There's the double closets right here in the hallway. And then there's another room in here or whatever, right? So this room ain't done. This room was literally under construction. It's literally finished, but I just threw some stuff in there or whatever. But we're going to go ahead and check out downstairs real quick. I'm just showing y'all a tour real quick because I'm not even sure how much longer I'm going to actually be here. Now, I got to remove the bikes. I'm going to put them in the garage. As you can see, I have the floor done. I did all the different fixtures and stuff like that. I put the fixtures in there. I did the walls and stuff like that. It's got that gold touch to it or whatever. I just got to take the tapes off the walls and stuff like that. Cause I usually do the cutting and stuff like that. I do the real cuts or whatever. You got the vanity bathroom right here. You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's up for sale right now. I'm about to put it's not up for sale, but I'm about to pretty much get it ready or whatever, right? So I'm gonna empty all that out. Remember the greenhouse and all that with the bar and all that stuff is back there in the back. You feel me? So we doing all that. I got it all kind of cleaned up. I'm cleaning up. Got the floors pretty clean. I'm buffing stuff. Carpets is pretty clean. We're going to take a walk down into the basement. All right. And y'all already know how I do. So, you guys, excuse me, but the greenhouse and all that is set up right there. I got that little space right here, whatever. The drums, the movie theater. So I'm going, when I do the walkthrough of this crib, I'm doing I'm going to have this on. The TV's on, everything's gonna be music playing and everything like that. Look, I'm gonna finish this bar. This bar right here, I'm finishing that. That ain't nothing. I'm just finish the bar, put a plastic glass in there, throw the little LEDs in there. Boop, pop it up. All right, there's just a shelf that go in there, and boom, I got the cooler for that. The other room back here, like I said, this is pretty much just spare. I was gonna do a studio booth right in here, but this is also a bathroom back there. So this is just another spare room. So the basement is pretty much finished. It's a finished basement. You got other closets, extra closets everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Closets. And as you can take a look, from back here, it's pretty much done out. This, like I said, this is the bar section or whatever. And this is the seating and stuff like that. As I got the speaker booth seating, got to move the wires and stuff like that out the way so you can really see it. But that's memory foam seating right there. You know what I mean? With the laid back joint right there. That chair right there, that's a $1,600 chair. That's one of them. Oh, my bad. Look it up. It's about $2,600, $3,000. But it's one of them therapeutic joints. I mean, it's really comfortable, yo. So when I put them in here, And I'm gonna let the people know, look, I already had this whole joint tuned pretty much for like kind of like entertainment or whatever. But as you can see, it's certain things that they don't like. Look, you can pull it out, man. But look, when I bounce, I'm telling them like this, yo, you can keep the movie screen, the projector, all that. Man, I tell them like this: if you want to buy, you can take everything in here, dog. Y'all can have everything, dog. What I'm gonna need. I ain't gonna have to talk about that. Remember, when you leave, bring nothing, right? Check this out. Why? Because everything else is getting ready to be. Where you gonna be? Hold up. As you can see, it's a lot of cleanup I gotta do here. This is just nothing but a junk removal. You see the Kawasaki motorcycle right there? See, this ain't Ringo, yo. Nah, this ain't Ringo. We don't ride scooters around here, dog. Let me show you a shorty ride. You know what I'm saying? We don't ride no scooters around here, boy. Stop playing. Look, I told you we get it into. Look, transmissions. Yeah, do as you will. Look, this is a spare transmission to even the Beamer. I got two Beamers that take the same engine, transmission, transfer case, all that. It's the same junk. And I got an extra engine, transfer case, and transmission, and an extra transmission right here for the same two Beamers. That's the joint she like them classic joints. But I was doing these right here, the moon bounces too. You know, I explained to y'all about that. This is why I be having these colorful shirts and stuff like that when we go out, because it's a lot of keys and stuff like that. So you got one moon bounce, two moon bounce. That's a real big bump. Just right here, this joint is crazy. I'm probably more than likely going to take that with me. All the rest of this stuff probably going out. Generators going out. That's the fan to the bounce. This is nothing but boxes and stuff like that from a bunch of stuff that I was doing. And yes, I'm gonna get rid of all this. I'm gonna call my boy up. We're gonna do the junk removal. We're gonna get that up out of there. I got a 4-car garage, 2 spaces in there. Like I said, we're gonna get that joint on the market. So what I want to talk about is how we're gonna do certain things. So if you don't have assets, and even if you don't have money, right? What you're going to do is, the first thing that you're probably going to want to do is get a Credit Karma account. Get a Credit Karma account, and then you want to the first thing is start disputing all the stuff off of there. That way you got a clear line of credit, because you can do this with a credit score of 580, right? That's to get a first-time home buyer loan. Another thing about first-time home buyers, if you already had first-time home buyers, it didn't work out for you, or you going through a process again to try to do it again, right? You can actually do first-time home buyer program as many times. You just can't have 2 at the same time. So once you sell a crib or whatever, you can first-time home buyer again, right? All right. So where we're gonna start. You're gonna figure out how to file paperwork with your personal name. So if you don't have a job, you're gonna tell them, well, you know, I've been making some money, right? If you haven't been making no money, I don't know how you're gonna do it, or how you even gonna pay your bills. You can still do it, but then you literally kind of be lying and setting yourself up too at the same time for failure. But you want to go to the IRS and you want to tell them that you was making a certain amount of money. If you want to get a crib that's like $300,000, you want to tell them that you're making $70,000 a year, right? That's gonna come out to be like $15,000 in taxes or something like that every year, or probably like 12,000 or something like that, $12,000 in taxes every year. Then you want to combine them years. You want to tell them you want to combine the 2 years, so you can file back 10 years. So what you want to do is go back to the last 2 years. Call the mortgage companies. Ask them what 2 years they need. Ask them that, right? If you can't get this done in that time period, or if you even need help with it, just let me know. But you need the 2 years. You're going to go back 2 years. You're going to file on your personal name, telling them you made $70,000 a year. Then you're going to turn around. They're going to hit you with a bill like $20,000, $24,000, saying, all right, this is what you owe us. Don't worry about that. You're going to tell them you want to put that on a payment plan. And yes, you can. You can always put it on a payment plan as long as you don't owe them, or not as long as you don't owe them, but as long as you're not already on a payment plan. For those 2 years, it don't matter what else you owe. As long as you can put all that on a payment plan, you can still owe them and put that on a payment plan. If you ain't even sure about that, you can go ahead and call the IRS and ask them. You understand what I'm saying? So you're going to take the 2 years that you filed back and put them on a payment plan. That payment plan, it goes for 10 years. So a 10-year payment plan with owing around $24,000, your payment is going to be like $200 a month, right? $250 maybe, right? Something like that, right? $250, $300 a month. So looking at it like that, you already got that as a payment. But the thing is, even if you've reneged on that payment, you got 10 years to pay it before they come for anything or ask for anything or anything. You can literally get out 9 years after your house goes up. So much bread, take care of that later. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Once you get to a certain point, for certain people, you kind of got to make those moves anyway. Other than that, the longer you stay in a crib, dog, they make so much money off you in interest. You really wasting bread. If you know what I'm saying. So anytime you got big spikes or the crib is going up $15,000 a year, right? But what you're paying, they're making $6,000 a year off you on interest. So if you think about it, you're really still making about $9,000 a year. That's what. So if you think that you was making 15, you're really making 9 because that interest is taken away from you. So think about it. You're still making $9,000 a year. If the property value of the house goes up, you only sitting there. You're not trying to get it to say, oh, I'm going to be stuck here. I mean, even for these times, you might just be able to do that. You could run programs in 5 years, my nigga. You understand what I'm saying? So you feel me? In the midst of that program, shit is just going up, boy. You feel me? As long as you can run it. Understand the paperwork. Know how to understand the paperwork. Get your 2 years. Find you something comfortable, right? You know where I'm at. Like, think about people who refinanced and their bills go up. At that point, you could literally sell a crib, get a bigger house, and you'd be paying the same mortgage. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you, like, yo, America's really tricky, but if you got, like, you understand the tools to operate how the things are actually done, bro. The tools is the IRS. The tools is taking anything that you got and putting it towards it. So if they say, all right, you'll get the loan. But if you're trying to go for a specific house and they're only trying to give you a certain amount of money on an FHA, if you ain't got the money to cover to get a bigger loan, then you're just going to have to find a crib in that area of things. I would suggest looking for any of the foreclosures. You can look for foreclosure. You can find foreclosures out there starting at like $50,000. A foreclosure on a 30-year mortgage, 40-year mortgage. Do you understand how much money you're paying? You're paying like $125 a month, $150, $200 a month. You take that IRS tax money plus the $200, nigga, you're not paying much. You're not paying much at all, dog. You understand what I'm saying? Then you'll be in a crib. You feel me? And not necessarily saying you got to focus on having your own yet. If we still in a system that's still operating and you're in the midst of a situation, maybe this reset can help you. And if you already have a home, maybe it can help you even more if you have not touched any money in your house. You can take that, start a new business, pay off the IRS. Look at how much those bills is going to come out to. If you take out your credit, take care of the IRS, versus you have to buy land, build this, that, and bro, you halfway there, and the house is already built. You know what I'm saying? In most circumstances, right? If you really check out the pattern, if you think about what I'm saying, you feel me? So sometimes you can strategize even better if you use what you got, right? Especially if you sitting there with bread, right? And you force in a situation like, okay, well, it's getting to a point where it's unaffordable. Okay, let it go. Let it go. There's a plan to figure it out. But you're going to have to let it go. Because if you don't, it's going to take you down with it. That's just like like the Bible saying, like, come out of her, my people. Like, look, man, ain't no need of being stuck in the headache, stuck with the headache. If God's allowing you to pull you out of a certain situation, or if he's giving you the information and showing you how to move and what the next move is going to be, or who has the information to help you make that move, yo, I'm telling you, as well as me, I'm one of them people too that can help you make that move. You feel me? Now, I've done these things before. Sometimes we get comfortable and that's how we feel cornered. But sometimes it's not about being comfortable. If you understand that the Most High, he always moving. So if he always moving, you always moving kind of in a way. And it should be up. If you ever feel like things is pulling you back and this, that, and the third, it's because he's literally calling you forward. Because it ain't meant for you to just be stuck stagnant. It's meant for you to get out of the situation. So he's going to send you advice. He's going to send you suggestions. He's going to send you plans. He's going to send you information that's going to actually help you get to those things. So if we got to reset, we got to start the reset must take place in the mind. Reset means you're going to have to start to let go, stop being comfortable with the things that you was used to having and being around. That's why I just showed you all that. You think I did all that so I could be just going somewhere else? I don't know. I can't tell you. God can make miraculous things happen. But all I'm saying is he knows how to take the worst situation, and turn it into a bigger, greater, better foundation. And then and that's what I was saying. I was just like, for the Most High, as far as like I just be asking him to talk to me. And once he started telling me certain things and showing me certain things, I'm like, look, man, look, I believe I could see the blessing over the hill. And look, I'm looking at one and I'm like, look, just the same way with anything else. You take it to the Father, you put it in his hands and you say, Lord, not just that, even I need this. Tell the Lord, like, Lord, I want that, Lord. Lord, that's what I want. When you start telling the Lord what you want, that's the desires of your heart. He knows what you need, but he be wanting to give you things that are your desires. You feel me? That's what I've been saying a lot of times. Like, look, now another thing could be proof too, right? Because I could tell you what's going to happen in this situation. Either two good things going to happen. Either I'm going to extremely be able to take care of my matters and this, that, and the third plus more, right? Or you'll see something bigger, beautiful, and better. You feel what I'm saying? You're more than likely, if that's the case, right? The way I pray to the Most High, if he gives me these desires, you will definitely see something amazing that happens to your boy Clinton Close, right? Then it will always continuously be amazing, right? Like, yo, he was just sitting there in a certain situation, and I could tell you how you could turn these situations into that. I don't understand if that's what I actually got to do, but I feel like if you're in a situation like that, don't be afraid to move, because you may not know where you're going, but it's almost like you'll start to see it. And then when you see it, you're literally going to ask God, like, can I go there? Like, you feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? It's literally it can be at a point where it make you not want to still, quote unquote, be comfortable. Because if you're just being comfortable where you at, dang, how would you have better? How would you have more? How would you? Because look at what you in now. You see what I'm saying? You'll be paying for a foundation at the same rate, bro. This, that, and the third, nothing going on, for something that you could have that's bigger and better. With so much, because you're doing with so less. You're just restarting the process. But now what happened? Well, I said, for the ones who have something they can utilize, and if you're utilizing that, look, man, it's about time. You can make that happen, but you're going to have to strategize these things. You can't be afraid. You're going to have to understand, listen. I'm going to tent. It's my second time. No job, no business. And I tell you, right? Listen. How you think I got the EBT? Right. All right, bet. No job, no business. Buy a house. No job, no business. Buy a house in your personal name, bro. Look, this is the reason why you're filing personal, because it ain't a business. You're filing your personal name. You can make personal money if you got personal faith and you know you can personally do it, or you can strive for it. Like, personally, go out there and figure out those numbers and get yourself settled in somewhere. Like I said, start with cleaning up your credit. If your credit is even at a 500, if you got 10% to put down on something, you can find something for like 60,000 out there, foreclosed, right? That's 6,000 you got to come up with. You feel me? Maybe there's other ways that they can help, but you're still going to have to come up with 3.5% down on a house anyway. So you're going to need 3.5% down for whatever it is you're trying to